I made it clear to the Supreme Court that my fear is that I do not want Nnamadi Kanu to die in detention. So I told the Supreme Court that my worry is that I would not want Nnamadi Kanu to die in DSS Gulag because of their delay. They have been delaying this matter. This trial started since December 2015.
Hello, what's up, beautiful Nigerians? You're specially welcome back. Hello, welcome back to our political news of today. And if this is your first time coming across this channel, I say you all specially welcome. I remain your humble sister from another mother. My name is still Her Excellency of the Federal Republic of my Kingdom, Tahila the Great. And today is our Bonga news. Now, in this channel, we talk about political news, celebrating personalities that has made us proud, interviews, healthy lifestyle, music, comedy, and lots more. And why is our brother still in detention? Why is the federal government not releasing Nnamadi Kanu? The Southeast, the Igbos are angry, and they said, no, what have we done to the government of Muhammadu Buhari to deserve this ill treatment and maladministration from your government since 2015? Now, we wanted presidency, una no give us. We wanted Senate president, una no want. Now, our brother Nnamadi Kanu, his detention is long overdue. Now, at the initial time, they say, they been say they do and so that, okay, they will use and win election. But election has been contested and won. Why is Nnamadi Kanu still in detention? These are the many worries that Nnamadi Kanu lawyers are exhibiting. That is why you heard them. At the beginning of this video, they say, we dey fear, make Nnamadi Kanu no die for sale. So, beautiful Nigerians, I want us to deliberate on this matter. Because as it stands now, the Igbos are saying, they go do kasala. Say the kasala go boss if they don't release their brother. Because they don't see anywhere where they belong for this country. They fight for president, they don't give them. They look for Senate president, they say, the Southeast no vote for them. And now, their brother is still in detention. Oh boy, they vex. They vex. And you know, say, now this kind of thing, they bring war. And we call it back. As they say, kasala go boss, now say, wait, abego. Because if kasala boss, if trouble come, now the poor innocent ones that they suffer. Market women, those ones who get shop, innocent shop, they go to bomb. Innocent cars, they go to bomb. So we are joining hand to beg President Muhammadu Buhari to please release Nnamadi Kanu so that these people will get breathe of fresh air. Because they're already feeling marginalized right now of their brother staying. You know, say even one time they come out, they say, say they don't even understand the way Nnamadi Kanu they behave again. Say, be like say, they Kolomenta. Kolomenta. He cannot kolo. Handsome Nnamadi Kanu cannot kolo. We reject it for him in Jesus' name. But that's just by the way. So they are begging the president of Nigeria that give us take-home gifts. Release our brother Nnamadi Kanu so that it will be a take-home gift. At least if you don't do anything for your failed 8 years government, let this be the only thing that you can give us as take-home gift. Now waiting the lawyers they talk. So guys, una know say Nnamadi Kanu lawyers are very intelligent people. The man is very intelligent. His set of lawyers are touch-not. I love those people. Okay, guys, I want you to watch the video from the beginning to the end. Hear what the lawyer is saying. And we Nigerians are still begging Muhammadu Buhari. I am begging Muhammadu Buhari. They are begging Muhammadu Buhari so that these people will not feel marginalized, so that trouble will not come. Because the only gift the only gift you can give any country in this world is peace. So when there is no peace, there is no development. So peace is only thing I will call for today. Peace is only thing I will call for tomorrow. Peace is only thing I will call for next tomorrow. Peace is only thing I will call for eternity in this country, Nigeria. Because that's the only way we can move forward. So guys, I am joining forces to call for peace, and I'm joining forces to beg Muhammadu Buhari to please release Nnamadi Kanu for his people. So guys, let me allow you watch. The man gets English from mouth. Nnamadi Kanu, you need to watch out. So guys, let me allow you watch the video from the beginning to the end and listen carefully, because the man said a lot of sensible things. All the things that the lawyer said, let us discuss at the comment section so that I want to hear how you feel, your like, your thoughts, your comment at the comment section. Now, do not forget, if this is your first time of coming across my face, do not go like that. Please, support your sister. Hit that red subscription button and click on the notification bell for more of my political news coming your way. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to this channel. Not just subscription alone, at least like now. Watch my video, like logo, just like, yes, like, say something, say comment, just give us comment on how you feel or what you feel about the video. I know say we can complain about data, but there are some sensitive information wey be say you no go dey put data for mind. Yes, data should not even be your priority. Get informed. Yes. So guys, let me allow you watch the video from the beginning to the end. Keep watching, keep liking, and keep sharing. I will be right back.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, today's proceedings border essentially on the main appeal, which we believe was ripe for hearing. When this case came up on the 27th of April, Thursday, 27th of April, the Supreme Court ordered the federal government to file their brief of argument as appellant within 6 days. They had asked for 5 days, but the Supreme Court was gracious enough to give them 6 days. They did not file that brief until Tuesday. Even when they filed it on Tuesday, I discovered that the brief was 53 pages more than the threshold of the 40 pages allowed by the Supreme Court. I'm not the kind of lawyer to embarrass opponents. So I told the Supreme Court, I told Ghazali SCN from the Federal Ministry of Justice and his junior, I called them and then also wrote to them that the practice and convention at the Supreme Court is that a brief should not exceed 40 pages. So they had to file another one on Wednesday, which they served us late on Thursday. We had only the weekend to prepare our own respondents brief, which we duly filed on Tuesday in the morning and served them. So from all intents and purposes, the appeal was ripe for hearing. But today, the federal government came and said they wanted to file a reply brief. I told their counsel, you can even, these points of law you are showing me which you want to file formally, you can stand up and say them orally, verbally, and we will not oppose. In any event, you are saying we raised a preliminary objection in our brief. It was raised in our brief, not as a separate document. But I believe that their own intention was to stall the proceedings, because he said he had the instruction of the Attorney General that he must reply to it. I said, no one is saying you should not reply, but it doesn't have to be in a written form. You can reply orally. We have all done it now and again by replying orally, verbally. He will not do that. So the Supreme Court said, in order not to shut them out, they will give them a short time to file the reply within 2 days. Then I begged the Supreme Court, I pleaded with the Supreme Court to give us the shortest possible date, even this month or early next month. But they looked at their calendar and their docket that is pitiably full. It's so unfortunate this is the busiest Supreme Court in the world, because all manners of cases come here, and politicians will fight themselves dirty and they will all end up here. And even the smallest case about stealing a piece of fish or disagreeing over disagreement between a husband and a wife, we end up at the Supreme Court. That is why I've crusaded again and again over the years that we should have hierarchy of courts within states, so that each state of the federation should have its own hierarchy of course, from magistrate or customary court to high court to court of appeal to Supreme Court. This is how it happens in the United States of America, from where we borrow our presidentialism. But here, the smallest case will go from the smallest village and end up at the Supreme Court. And all the politicians will fight dirty, will quarrel, will not put their hands together. All of them will come here. So when the Supreme Court is beginning to have like 19 cases in one day, like a magistrate court, then you know there's a problem. So they looked at their dockets and discovered that the next available date is after the vacation, which will be 14th of September. Having indicated, I pleaded with the Supreme Court to allow any of the two motions which are still existing that we filed. One is motion for bail, and the other one is motion to transfer him from his current DSS gulag. I don't call it detention, it's gulag, to Kuje Correctional Center, which the federal government indicated that they are also opposing. I made it clear to the Supreme Court that my fear is that I do not want Nnamadi Kanu to die in detention. I gave the example of Audu Abubakar, former governor of Kogi State. He was my client, and I continue to warn the prosecution that time to hurry up and carry out this trial, because if this man died, then there will be no person to try. And when he eventually died, the first time we go to court, I asked them, can you now go and try a dead person in the grave? You cannot. So our criminal justice system says, come and stand trial. What does it connote? Come and stand trial means you should be well and heavy enough to stand a trial. It didn't say come and sit down trial, or come and lie down trial, or come and prostrate trial, or come and kneel down trial. It says come and stand trial. So you should be heavy enough to stand. That is what it connotes. So I told the Supreme Court that my worry is that I would not want Nnamadi Kanu to die in DSS Gulag because of their delay. They have been delaying this matter. This trial started since December 2015. They went from 4 counts to 7 counts to 50 counts. Amendment. They did in all 7 amendments. If you were sure a person had committed a crime, why were you engaging in 7 amendments? And of course, the last 15 counts, I went after their jugular. The Federal High Court struck out 8 of the 15 counts based on a preliminary objection. We took the remaining 7 counts to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal, on the 10th of October 2022, struck out the remaining 7 counts and further ordered that Nnamadi Kanu was discharged and that he should never again be detained and he should never again be tried on those offenses for which he was standing trial before his brutal, excruciating, torturous, extraordinary rendition from Kenya on the 27th of June 2021, after he was literally kidnapped and captured on the 19th of June, when he went to Kenya voluntarily as a British citizen and was kept in a decrepit non-government place for about 8 days before they flew him back to Nigeria. Based on that, the Court of Appeal held that even in arresting a person within Nigeria, you still have to go through the provisions of AJA, like Section 8, which say you must treat a suspect or a defendant with humanity. You must not subject him to degrading and inhuman treatment. Section 113 of the AJA is there. Section 94 of the AJA is there. All of them say you must comply with both local and international laws in trying a suspect. They did not. They did not subject themselves to extradition proceedings as provided for by the Extradition Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. And there is also the doctrine of specialty, that you can only try a person, even if they had engaged in lawful extradition proceedings, which they did not do. You can only try a person for the offense he was standing. You cannot try a person for the offense he was standing trial before his extradition, extrajudicial or extraordinary rendition. It has to be a new offense for which you are extraditing the person. But they didn't do all this. So the Court of Appeal saw through the federal government's facade and masquerade and tore it to shreds and discharged Nnamadi Kanu, ordered that he be not detained, and ordered that henceforth he should never be tried. But the federal government surprisingly went to the same Court of Appeal, but another panel this time, to ask for a stay of execution. I have told President Buhari, when I delivered the Ozekhome lecture at Enugu, penultimate Friday, which was on the 28th of April, I begged and pleaded with President Buhari on bended knees that he should release Nnamadi Kanu immediately, because it's not a threat to national security. And I'm now again praying President Buhari on my bended knees once more to release Nnamadi Kanu today. People will clap for him, even though he has not achieved much in his 8 years of a disastrous outing as president. At least history will remember him that he did one good thing, releasing Nnamadi Kanu, showing that the Igbos are not a dot in the Nigerian circle. That of the 374 ethnic groups in Nigeria that speak over 350 languages, according to Professor Onigo Otite in his demographic survey of Nigeria, that the Igbos actually constitute the cementing, the binding wire, the cementing force, the erudite that holds the other tribes together. Because in any part of Nigeria, when you go to a community after the indigenes, the next most populated community are the Igbos. So the Igbos, I believe more in Nigeria than any other tribe, any other ethnic group in Nigeria. So what Buhari should do is to release this man. Sure. And then history will remember him for that. If for any reason he does not release him, the next president to even begin to rule at all, to govern a people at all with peace and tranquility, with mutual respect and egalitarianism, with social justice, is first national broadcast. Whosoever the president will be, the first national broadcast must incorporate immediate and unconditional release of Nnamadi Kanu. Although there are still election petitions against Tinubu, Shiwaju Bola Tinubu, but the constitutional provision is that a president, Buhari's term lapses on 29th of May 2023. That means a president, somebody has to be sworn in. I'm a constitutional lawyer. I know that that's the constitutional provision. So even if the person sworn in is a lame duck president, groggy, dawdly, wobbly, fumbly, I pray not crumbly, at least we will say he's president of Nigeria. The first maiden broadcast that he must have, he must incorporate the immediate and unconditional release of Nnamadi Kanu. And somehow that will give him some traction. And Nigerians will clap for him, saying, oh, you have started on a good note. And that will make him generate some sympathy, if not empathy, from a large spectrum of the nation, particularly in the Igbo race, the Igbos. It will generate some sympathy. So that is my advice. It's unsolicited advice. Nobody has paid me for it as a lawyer, but I believe that this advice will help whichever government is going to come into power on the 29th of May 2023. Yes, thank you. The federal government was staying execution of his own citizens' liberty, where America will go out of its way to another country to go and take out from that country a wrongfully detained person. The federal government of Nigeria stayed the execution of the liberty of its own citizens, and they have been delaying this matter. They filed an appeal since 18th of October 2022. They will file some papers. They will not serve us. We will discover them by ourselves. We had to file series of motions for accelerated hearing. That was what led to all these motions for bail and motion to transfer him, which again, unfortunately, the Supreme Court could not take today. They are of the opinion that Nnamadi Kanu will not die by the grace of God. And they even prayed with me that he will not die. They are of the opinion that it is better to go for the main appeal once and for all than through this motion for bail or motion to transfer him from DSS Gulag to Kuje Correctional Center. So, by the grace of God, let me say this and say this very clearly. The federal government can run, but it cannot hide. It can run, no, but it can never hide. The reason is that you cannot cover the sun with your palm. You can't cover the sun with your palm. And no one can hide behind a finger. Because the federal government has brought in a maggots-infested piece of firewood into its home. It has asked for visitation by a colony of lizards. So, why are they running from hearing the matter? But I can assure you that before you know what is happening, September 14 is here, it's around the corner. And this man, by God's grace, God, as usual, will do what he knows best. Do justice to all manners of people. God will ensure that Nnamadi Kanu is discharged, acquitted, and released from the jackbootism of the federal government, because he has not committed any crime, and the two lower courts have said he did not commit any crime. And this is what you call concurrent judgment. It is difficult, near impossible for the Supreme Court to tamper with concurrent judgment of the two lower courts, trial court and court of appeal, except where you show that great miscarriage of justice has happened. And there's none in this case. So Nnamadi Kanu will be free and free. When Moses told Pharaoh, the Egyptian king, let my people go, he will not allow them to go. His ears were deafened. Exodus 8:19. You will see the finger of God where Pharaoh could not get the magicians to conjure the little lice on the head. And the magicians told Pharaoh, look, we have been conjuring everything, blood, frogs, all these things, but this little lice, the smallest, we can't. This shows that God's finger is on this matter. God's finger. Exodus 8:19. So let this man go. They will not allow the Israelites go. What happened? We saw the consequences of a deafened Egyptian king when God parted the Red Sea for the Israelites to pass through, and the Egyptians were pursuing with chariots and charioteers, horses. What happened? God closed it up and drowned all of them. I pray that the federal government should not, because of one citizen, one innocent citizen, whose organization, IPOB, founded in 2012, was a whistle-blowing, beret-wearing, marching on the street organization, never violent group, to bring a bigger problem for them internationally. Because it was not until the federal government decided on his house on the 14th, his ancestral home at Afarauku, Ibeku, near Umuahia, Abia State, between 10th and 14th of September 2017, trying to extrajudicially kill and annihilate Nnamadi Kanu, that he fled by the whiskers of his teeth, and 28 innocent Nigerians were brutally and gruesomely and grisly murdered